Welcome to the After Hours podcast with Mr. Apples. Today we're going to be talking about the inspiration behind my custom card, Tswana the Enduring. So it all starts, as most good stories do, in a corner store. I was just buying some Gatorade in this corner store I've gone to plenty of times near me. And every time I stop in this corner store, I always take a look at the vending machine they have as soon as you walk in. Because, you guessed it, they stocked with trading cards. And some other stuff like battery-operated fans. But mostly trading cards. And they have baseball cards, and they have Yu-Gi-Oh cards, usually in other languages. Like they had a Spanish legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. So some cool stuff they have, but they never had Magic cards. But this one time when I got this particular blue Gatorade, I noticed on my way out that they had Magic the Gathering cards. Whoa, okay, I'm interested. I looked more close at the glass, and gotta tell you guys, some things about it. It was 30 cards that were inside a penny sleeve. And the angel in me was saying, listen, this is some bulk that somebody repackaged in a penny sleeve. They wanted to get rid of these cards. They couldn't make money by just selling it off to a random game store. So they decided to repackage it in this little pack and put it in the vending machine and try to make their money back that way. That's 100% what happened. The angel in me was saying. But then the devil in me is like, but what if there's a true Lotus? What if this is, somebody's grandparent, was cleaning out the attic and saw these cards and had no idea what to do with them and put them in this vending machine. What if there's 7 Ristic studies? I mean, there were commons back in the day. And the devil in me won because it was $1, and, Magic the Gathering is sometimes about taking that risk. So I open up this pack, and I'm looking through it, and the angel was right. There was a bunch of commons from the original Tarkir set. There was some bulk rares. I think the most expensive card I found in there was like about $1, which was kind of cool. I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. I just remember looking at it on TCG Player. It's in my collection somewhere. But the one card I do remember is a non-common, and that was Kavu Predator. For 1 and a green, you get a 2/2 with Trample that says whenever an opponent gains life, put that many +1/+1 counters on Kavu Predator. And immediately I was like, whoa, I've never seen a card with this type of effect. It is really cool. And what I like about it is a hate bear, but it's not a hate bear that completely shuts off the strategy. Like, if you get hit by a Screaming Nemesis, like, you can't gain life for the rest of the game. Like, that completely shuts off that strategy. I'm not saying that card should be banned or whatever. I'm just saying that if you're playing a life game deck and you get hit by that, you just are kind of feels bad for the rest of the game. But with something like Kavu Predator, when you gain life, you still can. Like, you still could, use your engine and stuff like that. But there's a punishment. But there's a tax you have to pay. And I think whenever a game can put the win or loss of the game in the hands of the people playing it, and let their decisions kind of shine through and be the deciding factor that wins or loses the game, I think that's when you can make the most interesting game. I do think that games also need a little bit of luck involved. I love chess because it is like purely a skill-based game, but it becomes it's such about memorization that if you haven't spent years on the game, you are at a severe disadvantage. So I took this card home with me. It just was sticking in my head. I'm like, that's such an interesting effect. And I kept saying that to myself, and I'm driving home and I'm thinking, all right, is there any way that we can make a commander deck with that ability? Because that ability is super cool. And then immediately I'm like, no, not really, like, because we have to wait for our opponent to try to gain life. It's straight up just a hate bear. And then the other side of me is arguing, like, but wait, aren't there cards like Swords to Plowshares or like Solitude that gives your opponent life? And I'm arguing with myself again, and I'm like, well, that's true, but there's not enough for you to make a whole commander around it, right? And I get home, and immediately I go to Moxfield, and I look up cards that give your opponents life. I look up opponents gain life. I looked up each player gains life on the Oracle text on the advanced search for Moxfield, and I started to find a bunch of cards that actually do that. Cards like Sky Shroud Cutter, cards like Centaur Peacemaker, cards like Invigorate, which I did know about beforehand, but I didn't think of. Nature's Claim is another card that I knew of beforehand, but didn't think of right away. And I realized that if you actually do this on Moxfield, if you have the time, there's actually quite a bit of cards that have that style of effect. So I'm like, okay, cool. How do we improve upon this? So at first, I gave Tswana Kavu Predator's ability. I gave it Trample, I gave it Lifelink, and whenever an opponent gains life, put that many +1/+1 counters on Tswana. But the last ability I gave it was whenever Tswana attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If you do, defending player gains life equal to its mana value, and then you draw that card. That was the original effect. But then I started to really think, and I realized that the pool of cards that give your opponents life, there's enough of them to make it a sub-theme within the deck, and I thought that was kind of interesting, and an interesting way to go about it, but it wasn't a big enough pool where you can reliably draw those cards, or expect to draw those cards. So I was like, what if instead of drawing cards, we allowed people to recur cards from their graveyard? So once you use one of these few cards within the pool, then you can pull it back. And that's kind of how I came up with the new attack trigger I had. But then, alright, fast forward. That was the version of the card that I had on my Discord for a long time. But fast forward to when I'm prepping to make this video. One of my first decisions when making the video was to ditch the art and find new art. The reason being, when I try to find the artist's credit for the art that you see on the right, the art credit that says Animal Bleedy, the only place I could really find the art was this like Paint by Numbers website. And I ended up finding a lot of similar images online that just had different patterns on this elephant. And I started to like zoom in into the art itself, and it kind of gave me the impression that it might be AI art. I don't want to say it's AI art, definitely, because I just don't want to disparage if there's the artist out there for the image on the right. So I ended up like trying to look for different art, and at first I couldn't find anything to replace it that I liked, but then I widened my search from like a four-legged elephant to like a Loxodon type character. So I ended up looking at Loxodon's art, and then that search let me come across Frost Lamzon's Elephant Monk that we have here on the left. So once I saw that thing, man, with the fists and everything, I was, you know what, this thing has trample, this thing has lifelink, like that really fits what I'm going for with the card text here. And then I wanted to change the name, and the reason being, if you look on the right, I called it Tswana the Unstoppable. Unstoppable's a really cool name, but if you think about it, that the type of character that would call themselves unstoppable or have that moniker would be something like a Viking or a Berserker, or someone who charges in battle with a sword in hand. And that could be part of what Tswana is. Like, it's a big charging elephant with trample. You can't stop it, But the thing that I was thinking of is that doesn't get the full aspect of the character. Because if you look at what the card text does, is it heals you. And it also heals your opponents and benefits from your opponent's healing. And I felt Unstoppable didn't really fit that. So I had to come up with a different name that, reflected that it's not a warrior, but something more of a cleric, something more of a monk, have you. And once I saw this art, I was like, enduring, It was the first thing that came to mind. Endurance isn't about, necessarily fighting all the time and killing, but it's about outlasting. Thank you for listening to the Mr. Apples After Hours podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this video / audio podcast, however you're listening to it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and consider donating to my Patreon. And if you didn't like it, I definitely want to hear from you, because I want to know how I can earn your vote next time and how to better improve my videos. Anyways, have a great night, and this is Mr. Apples signing off.